can't do much about it. But in second spot we have Will Young in second on the grid. Then we have Mac Brow and James Clark, who make up the front row. Richie Dibbon still kicking his bike. No, there we go. Will Young just stalled his bike on the grid there as the field streams away on the shortened circuit for the Motard. Because the guys who actually watch, the king of Motard is actually Richie Dibbon. And you see Richie Dibbon race at Wanganui on a Motard bike is something to be seen, isn't it, Neil? It's something to be seen, isn't it, Neil? So Richie Dibbon riding a Motard bike around Wanganui.
Oh, well, what an absolute thrill to be part of that. And, of course, the man who's been probably only been the winner, 2 times in the last 5 years, actually, unfortunately, because of his inconsistency. And on that occasion, it's his inconsistent machine, unfortunately. And good work here for the officials to quickly get that bike off the inside. And great, in fact, we haven't seen a red flag after 2 incidences there with our F2 class, giving us certainly a little bit of a wake-up call as to just how intense the racing is for this year's Suzuki International. So much creme de la creme as far as the quality of the event is concerned, and now the calibre of the event, and also the prestige which is going with it, which is making this something to be blessed with. But looking at a very good update here with Ian as we look to go past.
Scott Dowman, Rush Josiah, James Clark, Mac Brow. Whoop, better. No, yeah, that's right. There we go. Turn that on. That was a horror. Like, we didn't have Richie pole position. Wasn't there. Couldn't get his bike started. And Will Young stalled his bike on the start-finish line. So the top 2, hey, look at that. So Scott Dowman doing a great job out there from old veteran Russell Josiah. Russell would have seen, not probably Manfeild this way around too much, but...
Well, the other consideration, of course, is the bike here at the moment, because it's a TM, an Italian brand that have generally been specialists with enduro, had a bit of a go at making moto trials bikes as well, and of course got into the motocross scene and to put together a very good motocross team, and an even better one for 2020. So MXGP looking better for the interests of TM. So now I'm making some quality brands, and interestingly, the other day I had somebody who was actually asking for a TM machine because they'd heard a lot about him. He was asking whether any were for sale. It's probably the first query I've ever had for somebody to buy this brand, not as well known as other major recognised brands, but a bit like Aprilia making an off-road scene when Josh Coppins was their professional rider. You've now got this brand, the TM, with Scott Dowman out there. Of course, Scott, no stranger when it comes to motard racing, as a long-time Wanganui legends, put in some great rides over the years. And I understand the feature of the TM is actually to do with the air and fuel, and a very good air intake on that bike, which is part of the reason the 450s can perform so well, because the rest of the bike is about 90% the same for all of those bikes across there, but the TM just having some engineering advantages, which is why people like Scott have taken the advantage of it. And look at that, a reasonable run too, as they power out of Toyota and come up the straight. Look at that slipstream. You got a little bit with 2 and 3. There's 3 just trying to move out, creeping to the side and trying to get the advantage to go through there, but I don't know whether he can take it at the moment. Talking about Aramex's James Clark in there, but Russell Josiah, Spider, hanging on for a very good second place, but Scott Dowman certainly the advantage.
Yeah, and while I'm looking at the timing screen, James Clark, is the fastest man out there. He sits in 3rd at the moment, so he's got to weave his way through the front there, but the fastest man on the track. And Supermoto, brought to you by Aramex. Used to be called Fastway Couriers, but they've rebranded. It's an international brand, Aramex Couriers. Also Marshall Motorcycles helping. And on the same page is a little bit of an advert for the 100th anniversary celebrations of the Hamilton's Motorcycle Club. So looking forward to that, and they're writing a book on that. But meanwhile, back out to the action on the track. No Jet Josiah this weekend. I think it's his mother's 50th somewhere, so no doubt they'll be dancing all night long for that. Russell Josiah, the father's out here, so 4 bikes here, breakaway packed there, then another 3 there, including, I think, that looks like the 62 machine of Cud Scott there, Craig Scott from Wanganui. So how are we going with the lead there? We're waiting for the thing. In fact, I'll tell you an interesting thing here. Half of the Motard field are from Wanganui. That includes Wanganui, and that includes the Waitotra band, which is about 25 k's north of Wanganui. So 50% of the Motard field is from Wanganui. Scotty Dowman, Russell Josiah, Matt Bro, James Clark, Tony Hirney, Craig Scott, Cud Scott, Campbell Grayling, and Mike Kyle, Mark Oliver, and Wilson Woods there in the top 10. No changes of position in those top 10 here at Manfeild for round 2 of the Suzuki International Series. Folks, Cemetery Circuit coming up there. It's my 54th Cemetery Circuit. If you've got a ferry on your Christmas tree at Wanganui, make sure you tie it down, because the streets will rumble, the houses will rumble on the Boxing Day this year. So if you've got a ferry, just tie it down there. It's going to be electric. But right now in front of us, the Motard class. Does that look like we're coming across a lapper? I think that's Godfrey Swart from Wanganui. One of the big boys. Owns part of Dibbin Sports Motorcycles. He holds his line there, and it's the boys are weaving in and out. He knows what to do here. Doesn't do too much, doesn't do anything wrong there. James Clark's trying to find his way around there. They'll be talking about this, but giving them a hard time. But the important thing is you hold your line. So Scotty Dowman from Wanganui. Is Scott the one that had the big bad accident at Port Nelson a couple of years ago? Well, that was his brother, Ben Dowman. One of them had a moto accident, but Ben, yeah, but the two brothers used to go dice and dice. We've got a lot of brother teams there. Look at that gap between second and third coming across the start-finish line with 1 lap to go. The gloves are off there. This is the final lap. The gap there was 0.06 of a second between second and third there. So Dowman hold the lead across the line. Matt Bro, another Gixxer Cup graduate. Russell Josiah, James Clark. That's the 4 out in the front there for the Supermoto. Unfortunately, with Richie Dibbin not being able to start, it's disappointing for him, but it's improved the spectacle out the front, and the gloves are off there. Change for second there, Neil Ritchie and Dawson.
Yes.
Yes.
I think, yeah, Scott Dowman. Hey, I won.
Russell.
I put $10 on that one.
Yeah, Russell got there in second spot there. Yeah. Definitely just come through and just had that drive, the former New Zealand Superbike champion. So it was Dowman, Josiah, Matt Bro, James Clark. What do we got there? 0.4 of a second between the top 4. James Clark, then Cudge in 4th place. So action aplenty.
The neat thing, as everybody knows, it's running or half the track in reverse for Super Motard. I can remember when we actually raced here, 1980 or somewhere around there, and we actually raced the full circuit in reverse, and it's a completely different circuit to ride. Going down that back straight, flat out. And in those days, it's nowhere near as flat out as what it is today. But running and through the centre here, it used to be really rough because of the way the cars used to churn up the tarmac, and all the lips were all around.